In this video, we follow up with part 3. In the last video, we looked at plotting data with a scatter plot and a heat map, but we were actually only plotting the total population of bacteria at the end of the simulation. What I have been working on since then is actually getting it to plot a percentage of population A, population B. And so let's go ahead and look at that. Now here's the scatter plot. It has been updated to actually show not only the original values where you have bacteria A, which corresponds to the parameter initial bacteria 1 from the INDISIM2 model, and you have bacteria B, which also corresponds to the initial bacteria 2 parameter from the INDISIM2 model. And of course you have the total bacteria population on the z-axis. But you have a fourth dimension which is measured by color, and that is actually the percent A. And so what we see here is that a very low percent A, which corresponds to basically a higher percent B, and then a very high percent A, which corresponds to the color red. Low would be blue. It becomes very clear what regions possess what fraction or what composition of these two types of bacteria. Plus, in the scatter plot, we not only have that, but we also can compare that to the actual final total bacteria population. So, for example, here we can see that the total bacteria population is high, but here in the beginning, in this region, it's mostly A. Conversely, it's sort of the opposite here. You have very little A, percentage of A, and then in the middle you have sort of in between, and then on this sort of corner side you have it's increasing in not only total population but also becoming more and more percent A. It's very interesting. Now let's look at this. Is purely a heat map representation of the percentage of A. So this has nothing to do with total population. This is simply bacteria B, bacteria A, and the percentage of A, where of course red is very high percentage of A and blue is very low. So it actually corroborates the same trend where you have very low percentages of A and very high percentages here, and then you have sort of in between in the middle. And last, we have just a heat map of just the total final population of bacteria. So I changed the color so that it wouldn't be confusing to these color schemes. It's a completely different color scheme. In this one, you're mapping the total bacteria population. So green is of course the highest, deep purple is the lowest. And so this just gives you an idea of that population, that value, without having to determine it from a three-dimensional space. You can just look at these colors. It's a little bit easier to see that data.